In the summer of 1518, a woman named Frau Trophia stepped out of her house in Strasbourg and began to dance. There was no music. There was no festival. She simply stepped into the cobblestone street and began to move. Her face wasn't filled with joy. It was twisted in a mask of pure agony. She danced for 6 days straight. By the end of the week, 34 others had joined her. By the end of the month, there were 400. Local authorities were baffled. They didn't arrest them. Instead, they did something modern doctors find unthinkable. They built a wooden stage and hired musicians. They believed the only way to cure the dancers was to let them dance it out. But as the fiddles played, the dancers began to unalive. They unalived from strokes, heart attacks, and pure exhaustion. People watched in horror as neighbors danced on broken red stumps of feet, unable to stop their muscles from twitching. For centuries, this was dismissed as a bizarre case of mass hysteria or a religious curse. But in the late 20th century, a group of toxicologists revisited the records. They looked at the weather patterns of 1518, a damp, swampy spring followed by a humid summer. They realized the town's grain supply had been infected by a specific fungus that grows on rye in those exact conditions. When the townspeople ate their morning bread, they weren't just eating breakfast. They were consuming a natural, potent precursor to a chemical that causes muscle spasms, hallucinations, and a terrifying burning sensation in the limbs. The fungus was ergot. The chemical compound inside that bread would later be isolated in a laboratory in 1938 by a chemist named Albert Hofmann. He was trying to create a circulatory stimulant, but he accidentally synthesized the most famous psychedelic in history. The dancing plague of 1518 wasn't a curse. It was the world's first mass-scale trip on LSD.